Sleeping Stories Uncle's Horror Story. Our Paranorman Hunters. Reddit credit, you Jules Rowe. My uncle's story, 100% a true event. This post is in no way to make light of the extremely tragic loss suffered by my family when this story took place. It's very personal in nature, so won't use actual names. My uncle, who we'll call Alvin, was a truly respectable man, and if you knew him you'd know his word was gold. Solid he was in every way. Through the tragedy in this story there is comfort and beauty, and that's why I'm sharing it. I have heard this story told by other family members several times, but just once did hear it told by him. I'm going to recount this story to the best of my knowledge, and I may get certain details a little mixed up, but the base of this story is 100% the truth. It takes place in the 1950s in Old Mexico. On one of the old dirt roads that I do not remember the location of, but was dangerous because it had no guarding between the side of the cliff and the road. In the car was my grandfather, my grandfather's cousin who was driving, and my two uncles, who we'll call Alvin and Eddie, who of course are brothers. At some point the car they were in was struck by another car, pushing it over the side of the cliff. This was rural area, not well traveled, so what I know is my uncle Alvin was thrown from the car and lay dying on the side of the cliff for at least 2 days, in and out of consciousness. When he woke in the hospital he was still in good condition but spoke with my grandmother. He asked immediately for his brother and father, who my grandmother assured were fine, and told him he needed to rest and get his strength back. While he was resting in the hospital he woke up to someone kneeling by his side quietly praying, and he sees it's his brother Eddie and thinks nothing of it. He doesn't speak to him, he just stays there resting comfortably and goes back to sleep after a little while as his brother prays for him. The next day he wakes and is feeling stronger, talking with my grandmother. He tells her Eddie was here with me last night praying for me. That's when he was told his brother Eddie was killed in the accident and was no longer here. My grandmother suffered many tragedies in her life, and when she told me the story decades after it happened, her grief was still overwhelming, but she did take comfort in knowing her son she lost was there looking after his brother. For me, this story gives me the absolute proof that we do go on and we are being looked after.